Hello, I go by the name of Rush G and welcome to my channel. I am a Ken main. I've mained Ken from the very start of Street Fighter V, and on my channel we do a lot of content, particularly Ken Street Fighter V content. So I do a lot of tutorials, tips, optimization guides. I live stream and I just generally create a lot of cool Ken content. I'm not the best Ken out there, but I have put a lot of time into the character from the time the game dropped. I have to balance Street Fighter V with my work and family life, so yeah, I'm not playing it 24/7 like I was once upon a time ago. But this video today, because of the influx of new players, because of the Street Fighter V being free on PS Plus, I thought it would be a good opportunity to create a video explaining the pros and cons of Ken, going over his V system, so that would be V skills, V triggers, his V reversal, just to give like a brief overview about Ken and why possibly you should and shouldn't pick him up in this game. I'll just be completely honest, I won't give you false information. That's what I'm about really. I'm very straight to the point and very honest about my my opinions on the game and the character. So I'm hoping that you guys new to the game will pick him up, but there's obviously a number of reasons why you shouldn't, I guess. But we'll go through that more in detail as the video continues. So stick around, hope you enjoy, and yeah, hope to see you playing Ken soon. Nice. Wasn't looking for the right thing. Should have expected a dash. Oh shit. Could have punished it. I'm blocking? What the? That's clutch, man. That's clutch. Hey guys, welcome to Street Fighter V. In particular here, welcome to training mode. This is where you'll spend a lot of your time if you're trying to rank up, level up, learn matchups, learn combos, learn punishes. This is where you'll spend a lot of your time in training mode. This is where a lot of my videos take place, because obviously I'm showing you techniques which you can potentially take away with you. So get used to training mode if you're somewhat serious about improving at the game. One disclaimer I will mention. If you play the game online, which I think a lot of you will, make sure to set your default or favourite stage to the grid. It will help with online connections. When you play on some of the noisier stages, Forgotten Waterfall stands out, and that is a default stage as well set by Capcom. You will experience worse quality matches, more poor quality matches online. People disagree with that. I don't agree with their opinion. I've been playing this game for a long time, and you generally do experience better connections on the grid. Outside of, I mean, if someone has a very poor connection, they're playing on Wi-Fi or just generally have poor internet, then even the grid won't save that. But we use the grid and we use 4 to 5 bar searches to improve the online connection quality. So that's a good thing to take away before you even approach the online. So let's talk about Ken. What are the pros about Ken? So him and Ryu and Ken are the poster boys of Street Fighter. They may not be particularly great in Street Fighter V, but they are still seen as like the main two characters in Street Fighter V. The most common, the most well-known. Chun-Li as well. So they have very fundamental tools. So they have the Fireball, they have the DP, they have the Tatsu. Fireball, long range, sort of poking and attacking. The DP, the go-to anti-air in most situations, and Ken has the Tatsu as well. Ryu has that. That's a good combo ender. So yes, they have fundamental tools. They don't have particularly long range normals. They're quite stubby, the normals. That's stand heavy kick is Ken's most long range normal. They're very quick light attacks, which you can string and confirm off of. So they have, yeah, the tools are very basic, and that is good for, I think, learning the game initially. I think everyone should have either a Ryu or a Ken in Street Fighter 5 because you learn the fundamentals. If you, for example, you pick a character like Abigail, if you pick Bison, if you pick, a good example, perhaps Ibuki to a certain degree. Not quite sure about Ibuki, but you will miss certain fundamental aspects of the game. I think you can easily ignore them because of how strong those characters are in like steamrolling the opponent. If you play a flowchart approach to the game, yes, you can reach Diamond quite quickly, but you won't have the foundation there, I think, this is my opinion. Playing Ken or Ryu will give you a more solid foundation, as long as you actually invest time in learning the character, which goes for Abigail and Bison as well, but they have very fundamental tools is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so Ken has fundamental tools. He's very, very fun to play. I have to say, I think that's the main appeal of Ken. He's very cool looking and he's very fun to play. His combos are awesome looking and his specials just look sick. Like, my favourite special in the game probably is Branded EX Tatsu. It just looks amazing, and you can use that special in combo situations as well. It just looks awesome. His easy execution as well. So his combos and his cancels are not that difficult to do. I'd say the most difficult thing he has is maybe his V Trigger 2 follow-ups, but that just comes down to awareness really of the situation when you activate V Trigger 2. But yeah, for the most part, I think his combos and his cancels, his optimization is quite simple. So that's a real good selling point as well. Negatives, Ken, in a nutshell, I'd say he has a variety of tools to make him viable in the game. But he has to... I think the reward for what he does is quite small. Mid-screen, he doesn't get a fat lot in terms of reward. I think outside of shimmy, shimmying is, I mean, these are terms you might not be familiar with, but he gets quite good damage off a shimmy. But yeah, like single hit confirms, his damage can be quite limited. It's very situational when he gets high damage. He doesn't have access to a 3 frame, so that's important in this game. So frame data is important. Ken doesn't have a regular attack 3 frame. He has a 4 frame, which is stand light punch, crouch and light punch, stand light kick, crouch and light kick. He doesn't have a proper 3 frame, so he can't really... Waking up with a button is risky with Ken, and interrupting strings with Ken is also difficult because he doesn't have access to a 3 frame attack. 3 frames, even though it's a 1 frame difference between a 3 frame attack and a 4 frame attack, that 1 frame makes a massive difference in certain matchups, so that's a disadvantage. His Dragon Punch has plus points, but I would say overall his Dragon Punch in this game is not very good, including his EXDP. It doesn't have that much invincibility, so you can't blast through certain things with the EXDP. The same for his CA as well. He doesn't have a massive amount of invincibility frames on the CA, which is really bad. So that's not great for Ken as well. What else? He suffers, I think I mentioned this earlier on, so he suffers with stubby normals. So normals are... People say Ken cannot stay plus, so plus frames is an advantage. Ken finds it hard to stay plus. That's not true. I'd say it's more the fact that Ken struggles to maintain pressure. That's probably the biggest issue that Ken has in neutral. So playing at this range, playing the footsie game, he doesn't have the longest range normals. I mentioned earlier on stand heavy kick being a long range attack, but this is very, very slow. It's 14 frame startup and it has some seriously long recovery, so you can easily get jumped in on or whiff punished using that button. So that's a button you want to use sparingly, I think, especially against high level players who can whiff punish very easily. But I'd say overall that's his plus and negative points. But if I was to say to use him, I would say if you just want to enjoy a character and the game, then yes, use him. But if you want to be competitive and you want to play offline, get results, it hurts to say this, but I'd say at this point in time, I'd probably say no, don't pick Ken. You're probably better off picking Akuma, or in my opinion, if I was to choose another character, I'd choose Cammy. Cammy has access to a 3-frame. She has a DP. She has very long range on her normals. She's very fast paced. She has a great aerial approach. She just does a lot of things better. She plays Street Fighter 5 better, and with Cammy, you can still play a very similar game to Ken as well. Akuma is the better Shoto, period. There's no question about that at all. He has better reward, the things that Ken can do similarly. More damage, he has more tools, but Akuma does take more time to learn. He has a lot more setups, a lot more situational things. It's a lot more tech you have to learn with Akuma, and the execution is a bit more difficult because of things like Demon and just his air fireballs, and his combos are a bit more complicated than Ken's. But that's my opinion on Ken. So depending on your situation, how you approach this game, maybe you pick up Ken initially because you're casual, then you get serious, then maybe you want to move on to another character. It's not a waste of time picking up Ken, is my point. And it's fun to have a Ken, trust me. Everybody wants a Ken. No one can deny that. Everybody wants a Ken. And then I think secretly everybody's got a Ken as well, or at least a Ryu. Okay, so let's talk about the V system. So it's going to restart battle. It's going to restart my meter. So on the bottom left screen, you can see a red flashing bar there. So actually what I will do is, let's turn the gauge off first. So the ways you build meter in this game, V meter, oh, wrong one. On normal. We'll put that on normal as well. Alright, so you can see all my bars are empty now. So you can build meter by using your V skill. So Ken's V skill 1 and V skill 2 are momentum and attacking V skills, I'll describe them as. The step kick, if you just tap V skill, you get a run. You can see there Ken runs quite a distance. In that state, he's in a counter hit state. So if somebody presses an attack during that time, Ken will get counter hit. You'll see it on my side, the counter hit notification. See counter? So that is risky in terms of you can get damaged. You can get hit pretty hard in that state. But if you watch, if I hold back, see how the run's shorter now. You can stop the animation after a certain number of frames. So if I don't press anything, it'll do like a full run. But I can cancel the run into a button or a backdash or just a block state. So you can use this for mobility. It's good to get in on pressure when you get a knockdown like that. It's good just to get in and do cheeky throws or attacks. And it's also important for combos as well. So if I show you a combo, trying to think of a combo where I don't cancel into the kick. Okay, so watch this. That didn't combo. You see there, after the stand heavy punch, is this button here. I had to do a V skill to run, get the follow up. Without the V skill, you don't get anything. See that? So you must do the V skill to complete the combo. You also get an attack as well. You hold down V skill, you get a kick. Now this is good in a situation like this where you throw a fireball and then you do the kick. So you've got to get your spacing right here. Like that. It doesn't combo, but it's a good way to build pressure. And you can also do things like fireball, V skill, stop, and then you can, if they expect a kick, the step kick, you can bait something, say they neutral jump, and you can anti-air them. So that's a good little strat to use as you get a bit more advanced in your Ken play. So that's how the V skill works. Ken gets a lot more damage with V skill 1 in the corner. You can do things like this. So it is part of his bread and butter sort of combo situation as well. I think Line Breaker is the main one. His target combo too. That works as well. So it's a combo tool. It's a poking tool. It is a momentum tool. It's a, you know, you use it for spacing in combos as well. One thing I will mention is though, is that on block it is punishable. So if you don't space it correctly, watch now, I'm -6. So that's a frame data related bit of information. So frame data is important in this game. So -6, every character has access to a 3 frame, a 4 frame, at least, I believe. So most of the casts, even if they don't get a massive punish, that is punishable. That range, that's punishable. And some of the casts, including Ken, can punish it at max range. Ken can do his super on reversal timing to punish that. Even though it's -6 and spaced correctly, some of the casts can even punish it at max range. Be wary of that. It's good to know that. That's the V-Skill 1. Let's take a look at V-Skill 2 now. So I'm not an expert in V-Skill 2. I've used it sparingly. The main Kens to look at for V-Skill 2, I believe, are Ken called Muscle Noob. I'll put a link in the video description to his stream, his Twitch stream. Probably not PG, but a very entertaining streamer and a good Ken. And also Shaquille. I used to know him as Jones Arcade, but Jones Arcade is a really, really good. They're both very, very good Kens. They're both very different in style. But I think Jones I look up to Jones because his style is more suited to the way I play, I think. He's very good with V-Skill 2 as well. He loves V-Skill 2, really enjoys it. So those are two. Again, for Jones Arcade / Shaquille, I will put his Twitch in the video description as well. So make sure, if you're serious about Ken, make sure at least to follow those two guys on Twitch. They're really good. They both really enjoy V-Skill 2, and they both use it so well. Again, I'm not that well versed in using V-Skill 2, but V-Skill 2, it's an interesting one. Oh, I've got invites on. Typical. V-Skill 2 is it's an attacking V-Skill. So you can throw it out in neutral. It hops forward. It doesn't really beat fireballs. We did think it would be a V-Skill that would blow up fireballs, but it doesn't really do that very well. So you can get in. You can do it off. You can do it as a combo, like a combo filler. It's actually important for Ken's B and B combos, his bread and butter combos, when using V-Skill 2. As you can see there. And you can hold it as well. When you hold it, it does more damage, I believe. More damage? Yeah, it does 30 more damage, and you are more plus. You can get combos, I think. You're +4 on hit, so you get combos off of it. Regular hit, you just +2, so you don't get a combo off it when you're when you get a regular hit, not counter hit. Or sorry, when you get regular hit, it's +2. You don't get any combo potential after that. But if you hold it, you're +4, you get a combo. Like that. As I just mentioned there, counter hit, that changes things even more. So if it's counter hit, you still get combos. Oops, my timing's bad with this. There you go. Apologies for that. So on counter hit, it's now +4 because you get an extra 2 frames of advantage on counter hit. See there now. If you look at the frame data, just above the Ken in the black, +4 counter hit. That wasn't optimal. You get combos there on counter hit. If you hold it and you get counter hit, it's +6. So I think an optimal combo here would be like something like Ken timing. You get things like that, which is pretty ridiculous. I don't think it's very common to get that counter hit on full charge, but if you did, you can get a lot of damage. That's 319 damage without any meter. Mad. And again, you got to pay attention to the V gauge. The V gauge again is that bottom bar, the little bar above the big bar, bottom left. Every time you hit a V skill, the bar builds up. As you can see there, you should build more meter for the charge run. And that's the same with step kick, actually. I did mention that. So step kick, every time the step kick hits, you build V gauge. And the quicker you build that V gauge, the quicker you build your V trigger. And your V trigger is your comeback mechanic in this game. So when you're losing, you want to get your V trigger to make a comeback. That's the way this game works. However, if you're using V skill well in the set, you can almost build your V trigger without taking any damage, just by getting conversions, getting hits. As you can see there. Another cool thing about V skill 2 is, and this is what I think it's so strong about it, one of the things that makes it so strong, if they're airborne and you hit it, you get conversions in the air as well, which is pretty insane. So I don't have any meter, so let's put some meter on now. What's auto recover on? So watch. I don't know the optimal combos here, so excuse me. You get some serious conversions of this if they're airborne. It's really good. Another thing that I see Muscle Noob and Jones Arcade / Shaquille do really well. Well, I say well. They abuse the V skill, but they do such a good job of it. If I record, again, this is probably a bit advanced for you new guys, but this is the recording settings in the lab in training mode. If I get the dummy chem to do a wake up throw and a backdash, get him to stop jumping, we'll put him in the corner. If I knock Ken down, they do that a lot, and the timing of the throw probably wouldn't be instant wake up timing. There might be a delay before they throw, because they're trying to. What the idea there is they're trying to cover blocking and also teching a throw on wake up, which again is probably a more advanced thing. Don't worry about it now. That's covered elsewhere on the channel. But yeah, with this, it blows up the throw, which is pretty mental. And if it hits counter hit, they get a combo as well. What's cool about this is it also blows up. It should do in theory. I haven't tried this out myself. It should blow up the backdash as well. Yeah. Should do. The theory there is people will backdash on wake up to avoid the throw, because when you backdash in this game, you're actually airborne. So when you're airborne, you can't throw the opponent. So they do the backdash to escape the throw, but it also catches the backdash. It's pretty cool. And again, if they've got V trigger stocked, they're going to get a conversion there, and also counter hit, of course. Get combos, so they know when to use the V skill 2 in those situations. It's particularly good in the corner as well when someone's teching. So that is V skill 1 and V skill 2 in a nutshell. You get loads of, I think particularly V skill 2, the damage output's better mid screen, and you can just throw it out, and some characters, some players aren't ready for it. So I think it's really good lower ranks. As you get higher up, I think better players will be more wise to it, but I've seen Muscle Noob use that V skill and he blows even high ranked people up, and the way he uses it in combos, he gets a lot of mileage out of it, a lot of damage, conversions. It's really good to see. Right, so another thing I will show you, and I won't talk about it too much, is the V reversal. So V reversal, it's not really a big deal, but it is part of the V system, so it makes sense to cover it. So the V reversal, you can see there, Ken. So that uses one stock of V gauge. So you can see on the dummy chem, you look at the red bar, the V trigger bar, the V gauge bar. He loses one stock. So this is important to know as well, because you build V meter by using the V skills and by taking damage, and also, I didn't mention this, crush counters. These attacks also build V meter. The theory there is what happens is when you get a counter hit using particular heavy buttons, the game scores you with a crush counter. The crush counter happens when you hit someone in a counter hit state, so startup of a move during an unsafe V skill. If a DP with invincibility is whiffed, you get a crush counter free there as well. So counter hit states, use a heavy attack, particular ones depending on the character, punish those situations. You get a crush counter. Crush counters lead to easy confirms and big damage basically, but most importantly they build V meter as well. So where you build the V meter, you have two choices. You can either save the V meter for your comeback mechanic, the V trigger, which we'll talk about later, or you can spend it on V reversal, which is a defensive mechanic in this game, as you can see there. If I press a medium button, you see how I get hit. Now I take damage, but I don't take actual damage. It's called grey health. If you look at my bar, top left, that goes grey. Now that health is recoverable. You'll see it start moving up in a bit. See that? It's moving up. But if I take a hit now, I'll take the damage of the hit and lose the grey health. The V reversals build grey health, which is quite cool. They also allow you to avoid situations where you will be chipped, not chipped out, but like say, if I do a special into critical art to be chipped out, see that? You can escape the chip kill situation. You can only chip kill people with super in this game, not specials. So you can escape a chip kill situation using the V reversal. It's good again to get pressure as well. So even though I am pressuring the purple chem, he's reversing the pressure there. And what's important about the V reversal is, for Ken, when the V reversal hits and the opponent lights up on fire, you are +2, so you have advantage there. So if I try and press a button here afterwards, but the purple Ken pressed before me, he would have the advantage in that situation. If it doesn't hit, like that, if I bait it, the black Ken is +2. So you have to pay attention to what happens during the V reversal. That's how the V reversal works. Most characters have a knockdown V reversal where the opponent falls on the floor, but for Ken, it's not a knockdown, it's a stagger. You get pushed back and frame advantage, which is really good to reverse pressure in situations where you're stuck, especially in the corner. It's quite good. But V reversals can be blown up with throws. A mash throw. Okay, so there you go. The throws can actually blow up V reversals in certain situations. It depends on how slow the V reversal is on startup and the timing of the throw. They can lose to that. Other characters as well can lose to neutral jump. Ken's really good at doing this. So if he does fireball into V trigger 1 activation, Ken can neutral jump and punish a lot of V reversals as well. So even though they're a defensive tool, they can also be blown up. You can't do it to Ken because Ken's is fast, his V reversal. But somebody like Ryu, Juri, Akuma, for example, I know you can neutral jump and punish their V reversal heavily. You can almost get like 400, 500 damage, which is ridiculous considering it's a defensive tool. Okay, so it's a lot of talk about V reversals, probably a lot of information for beginners, but it will come in useful later on. Let's just cover the V triggers now, and that'll be it for this video. So we're already in V trigger 1. So V trigger 1, what that does for Ken is it beefs up all his special attacks. So this is his special attacks now. Fireball, pretty slow. DP, Hog Standard, and Atsu. Bear in mind, this is -4 on block. Now, when you go into V trigger 1, things change. His fireballs are now on fire, and they are faster. His DPs all now, including light punch and medium punch, all have fire on them. And they do more damage. They travel a bit more distance as well. The light punch DP in V trigger 1 is very quick. And the same with his stats as well. They do more damage, they have better range. And they do more damage. I think I said that already, didn't I? And this is no longer, in V trigger 1, the heavy kick tattoo is no longer punishable on block. It's -2, you lose your turn, but it's not punishable on block. So his whole game changes in V trigger 1. He becomes more dangerous. So he gets more combos. So if I give you some examples, if I do a regular combo, so let's spend 1 bar here. So if I get a stand heavy punch into V skill, whoops, wrong V skill. Change to V skill 1. $253 damage. Let's wake up option off. Now if I do that same combo in V trigger 1, you can see a significant more amount of damage for 1 bar spend mid screen. So he does a lot more damage in V-Trigger. In the corner, same story. So if I were to do, I think of a combo which would be do a 1 bar spend. What would be a wise one to do? Let's say that, for example. Not something I go for often, but 199 damage. I mean, V-Trigger 1 now. Again, more damage. And the thing is, as well with V-Trigger 2, you have access to 2 bar combos as well. 2 bars of meter. You can do that as well. So it becomes more deadly in V-Trigger 1. It's a lot more damage. His EX Tatsu as well changes in V-Trigger 1. So he has an Air EX Tatsu, causes a juggle state, which you can do some cool combos with. In V-Trigger 1, that changes. It doesn't cause a juggle state, it keeps them grounded, but you get even more crazy combos. Big damage. So his damage really goes up in V-Trigger 1. His momentum completely changes. And the opponent has to be very careful. Like, I'll be honest, if someone if you're trying to shimmy the opponent and they're teching buttons, they potentially get, particularly in the corner, with V-Trigger 1, it's insane. It's huge damage, you know, 473 damage, where a throw would have done 120. It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. But Ken does not get anywhere near that damage without V-Trigger 1. Crazy. He's actually nuts. Especially with the resource as well. The resource, if I didn't have CA there, you're going to get a hell of a lot less without V-Trigger 1 compared to V-Trigger, compared to no V-Trigger compared to V-Trigger 1. V-Trigger 2. This V-Trigger is it's mainly for blowing up projectiles, so it's a very complicated V-Trigger. I'll put a link in the video description to how to use it and the combos you get, because it's not very straightforward, but it's very cool looking. And its main use is, if the opponent is throwing fireballs, you can react to the fireball and it'll go through the fireball, punish them, and give you a juggle, basically. So it's not really like V-Trigger 1. V-Trigger 1 is more like a combo and damage V-Trigger, so like burst damage. So you can go from a combo, cancel into V-Trigger 1, extend combos, get really good corner carry, and get really good damage. Whereas this one isn't really a combo. You can get cool combos with it, but it's not really a combo V-Trigger. Where you want to use this V-Trigger, Shimayukin. I'm very bad at using V-Trigger 2, just for the record. Situations like that. And there's also some characters, as you get better at the game, if I were to do... Record that again. That's a common situation. Ken will do crouch and medium kick fireball into V-Trigger 1, because that's a safe activation. V-Trigger 1 is a safe activation, I should mention that as well. V-Trigger 2 is not a safe activation, you must confirm into it on hit. I can do this against Ken now. But where he does the fireball, you can punish the activation. Oops, I messed that up. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. You can punish, where you know if somebody wants to cancel into fireball, you can punish the activation. There's a gap between the crouch and medium kick and the fireball, which you can do Shimayukin through. What's also cool about this V-Trigger is you get different levels. So if you mash the punch button, that's level 1. I'll do level 2. It does more hits and you get more damage potential on the way down, depending on your meter. You get a full Shoryuken all the way up. I missed that. You get even more hits on the way up, a lot of damage, and then you get even better follow-ups on the way down. You can actually do, they changed it, where you can get CA Super on level 1. Which is nice. In the corner as well, it does become a lot better in the corner as well. You get, especially level 1, you get EXDP. You don't get EXDP mid-screen or EX Tatsu mid-screen. Level 3, you get ridiculous damage in level 3, to be honest. I'm trying to think of like a really basic one. Can get double DP, I think. Yeah. You can get, there's also, I'm not going to go for the combos you get, but you get all sorts of stuff. But yeah, depending on the level you use, dictates the follow-up, and also the state they're in. If they're in an airborne state when you hit the V trigger 2, things change a little bit as well. But yeah, there's not really much to that V trigger other than the fact that you want to blow up fireballs and interrupt normals into fireball with the V trigger 2. So it's a more tactical V trigger, that one. You gotta be more careful because, like I said, if they're blocking and you activate, oh, it's got V reversal on. That would have been a bad move from that Ken. That's punishable on block. That's heavily punishable on block. Not the same story for V trigger 1 though. Oops, changed the wrong one. That's it. I didn't apply. That activation is plus, so you get plus frames there. You don't need to confirm into V trigger 1. That gets you frame advantage. There are situations where you don't get frame advantage. If you do V trigger cancel V trigger 1 off the lights, crouch and medium kick also, and I think that's it. To be fair, yeah, the lights, crouch and medium kick, they leave you minus. So don't do that, that's not good. You're going to do crouch and medium kick into activation. Do the fireball. That makes you heavily plus. EX fireball makes you super duper plus. That's really good as well. So guys, I know I've spoken a lot there. It wasn't actually as short as I planned it to be. But hopefully that's given you an insight into the V system for Ken. And again, the pros, the cons, and just generally where I think Ken sits in Street Fighter 5. Hope you've enjoyed that. Most importantly about my channel, make sure you ask questions and queries. I look forward to seeing the comments, so any questions and queries you've got, I'll reply to everyone. So yeah, fire away, ask questions. Any tips, any opinions, throw them at me and I'll reply. And if you like the content and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. Guys, thanks for watching, appreciate your time, and I shall hopefully catch you soon. Take care.